Welcome to Match Play Golf 2024. We appreciate you coming to the tournaments. We're excited to be able to do this format one more time, and we look forward to seeing you on course. All information about Match Play Golf can be found on the TAPS website, so we're going to go to www.taps.biz. We're going to click on that word athletics, and then we're going to switch on to Match Play Golf. So click on Match Play Golf. We're going to take that participation form off, and we're going to have tournament rules, tournament information. Our registered teams will go away, but tournament pairings are going to be right there. It's going to tell you when and who you play. So www.taps.biz, click on Match Play Golf after you click on Athletics. The larger schools, boys Division I teams, this year you're going to be at Squaw Valley Golf Course. That's going to be over in Glen Rose, Texas. So Squaw Valley is waiting to welcome you, and you will be on the Apache Links courses when you get over there. So the smaller Division II teams, you'll be at Cottonwood Creek Golf Course down there on South Bagby in Waco, Texas. Robert, tell us a little bit about the basics of match play golf.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much. Like many of our golf tournaments, you are welcome to reach out to the local course, whichever course you're going to. Set up a practice round anytime prior to our tournament. Some will try to go maybe the Sunday afternoon before, travel down there, play a little bit. Reach out directly to the course for that. As far as our 2 days of match play golf, range balls will be available that morning. You can get there early and do that. And of course, lunch is provided each day. For our first day, our plan is to play 3 9-hole matches. So we'll kind of do a lunch on the go, if you will, between that second and third match. It'll probably be a burger sandwich or something like that. But then our second day, we'll play our 2 9-hole matches, and we'll have lunch after we've completed our play on day 2. Carts, coaches, you'll have a cart available for you, one per team. And then, of course, as always, spectators can purchase carts directly from the course there in the clubhouse. Squaw Valley, same drill, just a different location. Practice rounds, range balls, lunch, and carts. Those are all available just like at all of our locations. Schedule. Monday, September 30th, we'll have 7:30 registration and check-in. Depending on daylight, it doesn't get daylight now until a little after 7, but you're welcome to get there as soon as the range is open. We'll have coaches check in at 7:30. We will begin our pool play on day 1 at 8:30. It'll be a shotgun start. We'll have schedules posted that'll have hole assignments and matchups as we get closer. And then our second day, October 1, once again an 8:30 start. We'll only be playing 2 9-hole matches on that day. So we'll finish early afternoon on day 2. Pool assignments, like I mentioned, we'll get those finalized after we get entries finalized, and those will be posted there on that Match Play Golf page. Shotgun start for our hole assignments will be grouped. If Team A is playing Team B, those 5 players will be matched together in about a 3-hole stretch. So coaching is fun in this. You get to be close to all your golfers. They're all there in a short stretch, and that allows our coaches to keep up with all of our matches. Brian, talk about rosters and setup for the tournament.
This year we've made the change to the TAPS management system, so if you haven't been in TMS yet, make sure you get with your athletic director, get yourself in there, and then you also need to put your kids into the golf roster. So your match play golf eligibility roster goes under your golf roster, so make sure your students are in there. Right now we need their names in there if they go ahead and complete the TMS process for student processing, which would be their physicals and would also include their acknowledgement of rules. Love to have that done, but right now we need them in on the roster. The TAPS Golf app is the TAPS Golf app, literally, is powered by iWannamaker Golf. It's the same one we use in the spring, so make sure that you've downloaded and your kids have downloaded the TAPS Golf app. That way you can get your roster in, and then that's how you'll make your assignments, who's playing 1 through 5 in each match. And then on site, we're allowing you to bring a total of 8 people, so you can use any of those 8 in the order you desire once you set your squad for that 5-player match. Match rosters, again, each school can bring up to 8 total team members. You're going to have 5 on the course at each time, and you'll record the order of those in the TAPS Golf app. Players are ranked in order 1 through 5. That choice is up to you, who's the 1, who's the 4, and who's the 5. You may change the order during matches, so if you played 5 matches, you could have 5 different orders, and you can move them up and down that ladder as you go. Again, you can substitute. If you had 8 players, you could play players 1 through 5, and then the next one 4 sits out and number 6 comes in. Once the match begins, in other words, once they tee off, any of those 3 playing groups tees off, now your match order and lineup order is set. So if somebody gets sick, if somebody has to drop out after hole 3, that will simply be a win for that opponent. Robert, tell us a little bit about TAPS Golf app, powered by Wanamaker, and then where we can find additional information for our newer coaches that may not have used it yet.
We've been using it for a couple of years now. It works very well. It is powered by iWanamaker. It is called the TAPS Golf app. So you could go log on to iWanamaker.com and you could search for TAPS, and it will take you to the TAPS Golf app. It is free for our coaches and players to use, and we use it in our tournaments in the spring. We used it last year in match play for the setting of your roster for each of the matches, so we'll use it for that as well. That's a little easier than filling out the cards each time and passing them in and out, so we'll do it that way as well. And then, of course, we'll go over the scoring here in a minute, but the players are able to keep that on their phone and record who wins what match. Coaches will come in at the end and verify that, but make sure as a coach you're in that golf app. You put your school in there, put your coaches in there, and then your players do the same. Make sure they're all in there so we can track those and you can put them in order as we play each of our matches. There is a training video on the TAPS Golf app on our YouTube channel, and then what we'll do when we get through recording this and John gets it posted we'll put a link in there for you to find there when you look at this particular webinar, and it'll take you to that training video if you need it. The iWanamaker app has some great tutorials as well. You should have no problem navigating that, but if you do, always reach out to us and we can help.
Robert, along that line, it's not out downloading the iWanamaker app and whatever. They're actually downloading the TAPS Golf app. So make sure if you go to the App Store or wherever you're going to go to Google, whatever, make sure you're searching for the TAPS Golf app.
All right, scoring. Let's look at scoring. We're going to keep those in the app as we mentioned. Scores are attested by the players at the conclusion of each match. What they'll do on a hole-by-hole basis, it'll be match play rules. So what they'll record is who won that particular hole or if it was a tie. And then as they navigate through their 9-hole matches, if they happen to be tied at the end of those 9 holes, we'll play 1 extra hole. So if they started on hole 3 and they're finishing on hole 4, then they get to hole 4, they're tied. They'll go ahead and move on to hole 5 and play 1 more hole to try to break that tie. If it's still tied, it remains a tie at that point because of the schedule of having to move through 3 9-hole matches. We'll let them play 1 extra hole to try to break the tie, but if not, it'll just be recorded as a tie.
Robert, on that, just refresh my memory since it's been a whole year and I'm getting older. As we look at this, what if the match is won? You're up with at 5 and 4 or whatever that happens to be. Do they continue playing? What's the option at that point?
So we will follow match play rules. So if you're ahead in reality with more, you're more holes ahead than there are holes left to play. So let's say you're up 3 and 2, you're up 3 and there's only 2 holes to play. The match is over at that point, but you will be paired with another match that'll be going on at the same time. If they're still playing, you're welcome to go ahead and play and finish until they're done, or you can stop at that point. We leave it up to you. Technically, though, when the match is over, the match is over. You're not required or obligated to play beyond that point. We'll have matches that'll end after 5, 6, 7 holes frequently. That does keep the schedule moving, but there will also be another match being played in your pairing, in your group, and they may or may not be done yet. Our playing rules. We'll follow the USGA rules of golf, as always, in our competitions, but there's a specific portion that deals with match play rules. There are some differences. in how the match is played and how it's recorded. Those are in Rule 3.2, so make sure you're familiar with that. Hopefully all your players have a copy of the USGA rules with them they carry in their bag. But just review those match play rules with them. You can concede a hole, you can concede a putt or a shot. That's part of the rules of match play. So make sure you're familiar with that. We will follow those and apply those. And of course the TAPS golf rules, some specific things about how we play the rule, those are there covered in the bylaws as well. There may be some local course rules, there always are, about particular ways that a shot is played or a hole is played or an area of the course is marked, and we'll have copies of those. The local pros will have those for us and go over that with us before we start. And then technology, let's talk about that a little bit. In the past few years, there's been no phones, no anything like that on the course. We've migrated into the 21st century now with our TAPS Golf app and how we're keeping our scoring, so phones are required. We do allow range finders, and I know some range finders are available maybe on your phone or on your watch or some of those kind of things. Where we are in the world of technology with TAPS Golf now is this. We do scoring on our phone. Rangefinders are allowed. What we're saying, if there is any technology that's being used, like your phone or watch, you cannot use it for communication. You can use it for the playing and scoring of the round in the normal course, but you could not be using that to get text from your coach or parents back and forth. So just help us as we move into that world of technology, that it is available, you can use it on the course, but let's limit it to the actual playing of the round.
Robert, I know it's a little different here, but we're talking match play golf. You know, in the stroke play, and you're playing the individual side, you'd play two balls and go on down the road if you had a question. How do you see that being handled in match play? Because I think we do want each hole decided before you move on, or how does that work in your mind?
Actually, we let's go to, what's next, Will? Is it the coaching? Yes, we talk about this in the coaching rules. So let's hop onto that right quick. And coaches, your coaching is going to be the same as our spring competitions. You can coach from green to tee box, no coaching from spectators. And to Brian's point, when we have rules, questions, or applications in match play, they need to be resolved before you move on to the next hole, because you need to know the current score of that match to know if it's going to end, and if so, at what point. This is an area where we do allow the coaches to assist if there's issues in helping resolve that issue. Are you entitled to relief? Is there a penalty that applies here? We will allow the coaches to assist in that, because there does need to be a resolution of that issue before they move on to the next hole. And the reality is, it's only me playing you, and it only affects that one hole, that one match. It doesn't affect the rest of the field like it would in a stroke play event. So that is an area that's slightly different than our spring competition. It's not necessary to play two balls. The two players at issue can resolve it between themselves. Our players and coaches have done a great job of that in the past. We don't have issues with that, but it does help to know that up front. And then water and food. This is a little more relaxed environment. There's only the two competitors playing each other, so there's not a perceived advantage one way or the other. Coaches can provide and help for anything that's needed throughout the round.
Looks like we're going to be in this heat wave for a little bit longer. We're anticipating lows in the 70s, highs to low to mid 90s. Right now, they're not forecasting rain, but be prepared. Bring your rain gear just in case. It seems like TAPS going to Waco or to Glen Rose. We spawn and seed that cloud. It's going to come. So, again, make sure that you're providing the water and drinks. Make sure your kids have what they need before they go out. And this is everything we do, from one-act play to golf to tennis to track to football. Just make sure your kids get up and eat that morning. I can't tell you how often we have students, at whether it be golf or whatever, that they struggle as the day goes on because they forgot or just didn't eat breakfast. So, again, be prepared yourself and help your kids be prepared as well. Match Play Golf landing page, again, it's www.taps.biz. Click on athletics and click on Match Play Golf. We'll be pushing things out on that. We'll also be sending information out on our Twitter account for golf, so just be watching that as we go forward. We're happy to be partnering this year with Perry Weather. Perry Weather will be sending out a QR code or two for you to have that as well, so you can follow along and know what the temperature readings, and if there is severe weather in the near location, then we'll be able to push that information out as well. info at taps.biz. That's going to be the email, 254-947-9268, and www.taps.biz. We're here to help. We're looking forward to see you at Match Play Golf 2024.